The scent of freshly baked sourdough usually soothes me, but not tonight. My phone screen lights up again. Another WhatsApp notification from Noah at 1:47 a.m. It's his third message in the past 20 minutes, each one sounding more frantic than the last. I hesitate, my flour-dusted fingers hovering over the screen. Through my apartment window, the city lights flicker against the night, and an impending sense of dread settles in. I'm Eliza, and Sweet Victory, my bakery, is my life's work. 5 years ago, I walked away from a stable job as a hospital nutritionist with nothing but my grandmother's recipe book and a dream. Now my first bakery is flourishing, and plans for a second location are finally in motion, all built with my own hands on my own terms. The phone lights up again with another notification. A photo this time. Noah at some exclusive club, a champagne flute in hand, surrounded by stylishly dressed people. His message beneath the image reads, "Emergency. Need to talk now. Financial crisis." I sigh, unlocking my phone. Oh, it's almost 2 a.m. What kind of emergency can't wait until morning? I have an important catering consultation at 8. The typing indicator appears instantly. Lost my biggest client. Fourth one this quarter. Can't make rent for my studio. They're threatening eviction. Your bakery is thriving, especially after that Food and Wine article. Of course. It's always about Noah. I mutter under my breath as I type back. I can't keep bailing you out. Your graphic design business was supposed to be stable by now. His response cuts through immediately. You're my sister. Family helps family. Mom and Dad have done everything for us both. Don't be selfish. A bitter laugh escapes me, echoing in the silence of my apartment. Just like when Mom told me quitting my hospital job was a waste of my nutrition degree. Or when Dad drained my grad school fund to buy Noah his first MacBook Pro and high-end camera. That was different. His message pings. I needed that to start my career. But now I have an actual business plan. I want to partner with you at Sweet Victory. My mug of herbal tea nearly slips from my grip. What? It's perfect. You always talk about your 14-hour workdays. I can handle social media marketing and branding while you focus on the baking. Before I can respond, another notification pops up. This time from Meredith, my best friend since college. You still up? Saw you online. Everything okay? I send her a screenshot of Noah's messages. Her response is instant. They're delusional. That bakery is your baby. You built it while working hospital shifts and catering on weekends. And they had the nerve to say your degree was your only real achievement? I sink into the couch, exhaustion creeping in. Noah says if I don't help him, I'm betraying the family. Eliza, you just got the loan approval for your second location yesterday. They're the ones betraying you. Real family supports your dreams. They don't treat them like a safety net. Another text arrives, this time from my father, Robert. Your mother and I expect you at our anniversary dinner tomorrow night at Binny's. 7 p.m. No excuses. Noah has exciting news to share. Meredith's response to my forwarded screenshot is immediate. Classic manipulation. They're setting you up in public so you'll feel pressured to say yes. Low even for them. Before I can reply, my alarm goes off. 5:30 a.m. I've been up all night. A message from Juno, my head baker, appears. Morning, boss. Prepping for the Anderson catering consult. Cranberry orange brioche samples are ready for your approval. Also, reminder, the health inspector is coming this afternoon. I take a deep breath, a new resolve settling over me. I need to get to the bakery. This wedding consultation could secure our catering calendar through fall. Then tonight I'll face my family, and finally stand my ground. That's the Eliza I know. Meredith texts back. Need me to accidentally be at Binny's tonight? I could spill something on Noah's designer outfit. I hesitate, then smile. No, this is my battle. But maybe stay by your phone. Something tells me this anniversary dinner will be memorable, for all the wrong reasons. As I step into the shower, a final message arrives. Your brother needs this opportunity. Help him or don't consider yourself part of this family anymore. My mother. I stare at the words, unexpected calm washing over me. If they want a war, fine. After years of double standards and conditional love, they're about to learn that the daughter they've taken for granted has found her voice and her backbone. Good morning, Eliza. The Anderson wedding planner greets me as I step into my bakery. The morning sun glints off the gold lettering on my shop window. Sweet Victory Bakery, He 2019. My victory. My rules. And no one, not even family, will take that from me. At Grindhouse, the coffee shop near Meredith's publishing office, my victory from the catering consultation feels hollow. I stir my drink absent-mindedly as my phone continues to light up with WhatsApp notifications from my mother, each one a new manipulation. I slide my phone toward Meredith. Check this out. She reads the latest message aloud, scoffing. Your grandmother would be heartbroken to see how selfish you've become. Well, they're really going all in. Meredith stirs her oat milk latte a little too aggressively. Your grandmother would be thrilled that you've honored her recipes and built something real. Unlike certain people who burned through family money chasing their seventh career passion last year. Before I can reply, my phone pings with an Instagram notification. Wait, Noah just tagged Sweet Victory in a post? The coffee shop door swings open and I freeze mid-sentence. Noah strides in, his sleek blazer draped over a designer graphic tee I recognize from his last essential business investment shopping spree. He looks confident, but I don't miss the dark circles under his eyes or the frayed edges of his cuffs, signs that his carefully curated image is starting to crack. He spots us instantly and heads straight for our table, phone in hand, already recording. Hey followers. Just ran into my sister at my favorite coffee spot. Perfect timing for our big announcement. He pulls up a chair without asking, angling the camera to frame us both. Noah, what are you doing? My voice is calm but my pulse is racing. I'm acutely aware that he's live streaming. Just documenting the journey, sis. Transparency is key for brand building. His grin is the same one that charmed our parents into funding his 3-month photography expedition to Europe, an endeavor that resulted in exactly 2 paid bookings. Did Mom tell you about my killer concept for our partnership? You mean your plan to hijack my business? My grip tightens around my coffee mug. Hijack? No, it's about synergy. Family legacy. He flips his phone screen toward me. Look at the engagement. I've already started a content series about becoming Sweet Victory's new creative director and brand strategist. Meredith chokes on her coffee. He did what? My stomach drops as I scroll through his posts. Professional. Polished. He's already announced his executive role at my bakery. Take these down. No. My voice is low, shaking with quiet rage. Noah leans back, still recording. Come on, Liza. Don't be so territorial. Mom and Dad agree it's time. The aroma of freshly baked sourdough usually grounds me, but not tonight. My phone lights up again, this time with a WhatsApp notification from Noah at 1:47 a.m. It's the 3rd message in the last 20 minutes, each more desperate than the last. I stare at the screen, my fingers hovering over the notification, as flour from today's baking dusts my countertop. Outside my apartment window, city lights flicker against the dark sky. I already dread what tomorrow will bring. I'm Eliza and my bakery Sweet Victory is everything I've worked for. 5 years ago, I left a stable job as a hospital nutritionist with nothing but my grandmother's recipe journal and a dream. Now my first location is thriving and plans for a second shop are taking shape, all built on my own terms with my own hands. The phone lights up again with another notification. A photo appears. Noah at some exclusive club, a champagne glass in hand, surrounded by fashionably dressed people. The message below reads, Emergency. Need to talk now. Financial crisis. I sigh and open the conversation, noting the timestamp. Oh, it's almost 2 a.m. What kind of emergency can't wait until morning? The typing indicator appears immediately. Lost my biggest client. 4th one this quarter. Can't make rent for my studio. They're threatening eviction. Since your bakery is killing it with that write-up in Food and Wine. Asterisk asterisk. Of course it's always about Noah. I mutter, typing back. I can't keep bailing you out. Your graphic design work was supposed to be more stable. His response cuts me off. You're my sister. Family helps family. Mom and Dad have done everything for us both. Don't be selfish. I let out a bitter laugh, the sound harsh in my quiet apartment. Just like when Mom told me quitting my respectable hospital job was throwing away my nutrition degree. Or when Dad borrowed from my grad school fund for Noah's first MacBook Pro and camera equipment. That was different. I needed that for my career start. But now I've got an actual business plan. My mug of herbal tea nearly slips from my hands at his next message. I want to partner with you at Sweet Victory. What? It's perfect. You're always posting about those 14-hour workdays. I can handle the social media marketing and branding while you do the baking stuff. A new notification pops up. A text from Meredith, my best friend since college. You still up? Saw you online. Everything okay? I send her a screenshot of Noah's messages. Her response is immediate. They're delusional. That bakery is your baby. You built it while working hospital shifts and catering on weekends. Meanwhile, they kept saying your nutrition degree was your only real accomplishment. I sink onto the couch, suddenly exhausted. Noah says if I don't help him, I'm betraying the family. Meredith, everything I have is in that bakery. The second location loan was just approved yesterday. Then they're the ones betraying you, Meredith fires back. Real family supports your dreams instead of treating them like a safety net. My phone buzzes with a text from a different conversation. My father, Robert. Your mother and I expect you at our anniversary dinner tomorrow night at Binny's. 7 p.m. No excuses. Noah has exciting news to share with everyone. Meredith, still active in our chat, responds to my forwarded screenshot. Classic manipulation. Using their anniversary to spring this on you publicly? Low even for them. Before I can respond, my alarm goes off. 5:30 a.m. I've been up all night. A new message from Juno, my head baker. Morning, boss. Prepping for the Anderson catering consult. The new cranberry orange brioche samples are ready for your approval. Also, reminder. The health inspector is scheduled for this afternoon. I straighten up, a new resolve washing over me. I need to get to the bakery. This wedding planner consultation is huge. It could secure our catering calendar through the fall. Then I'll face my family tonight and finally stand my ground. That's the Eliza I know, Meredith replies. Need me to accidentally be at Binny's tonight? I could spill something on Noah's inevitable designer outfit. No, this is my battle. I hesitate, then add, but maybe stay by your phone. Something tells me this anniversary dinner is going to be memorable for all the wrong reasons. As I step into the shower, a final message arrives. From my mother, Diane. Your brother needs this opportunity. Help him or don't consider yourself part of this family anymore. I stare at those words, an unexpected calm settling over me. They want war? Fine. After years of conditional support and double standards, they're about to discover that the dutiful daughter they've taken for granted has found her voice and her spine. The Anderson wedding consultation goes perfectly, but my victory feels hollow. I sit across from Meredith at Grindhouse, our favorite coffee shop near her publishing office, as my phone continuously lights up with WhatsApp notifications from my mother. Each message is more manipulative than the last. Check out this masterpiece, I say, showing Meredith the latest text. Your grandmother would be heartbroken to see how selfish you've become. Meredith stirs her oat milk latte with unnecessary force, nearly sloshing it over the rim. Your grandmother would be ecstatic about how you've honored her recipes and built something authentic. Unlike certain people who supported Noah's 7th passion project last year. Before I can respond, my phone pings with an Instagram notification. Wait, Noah just tagged Sweet Victory in a post? Who is he? The coffee shop door swings open. I freeze mid-sentence. Noah strolls in, dressed impeccably in a sleek blazer over a designer graphic tee I recognize from his last essential business investment shopping spree. His perfectly styled hair and confident smile can't disguise the dark circles under his eyes or the slight fray at his cuffs, signs that his carefully curated image isn't matching reality. He spots us immediately and heads straight for our table, phone in hand, already recording for his Instagram stories. "Hey followers. Just ran into my sister at my favorite coffee spot. Perfect timing for our big announcement." He pulls up a chair without asking, angling the camera to include me in the frame. "Noah, what are you doing?" I manage to keep my voice level despite my racing heart, acutely aware of his livestream audience. "Just documenting the journey, sis. Transparency is key for brand building." His smile is all practiced charm, the same one that convinced our parents to fund his 3-month photography expedition to Europe, which produced exactly 2 client bookings. "Did Mom tell you about my killer concept for our partnership? You mean your plan to insert yourself into my business?" My knuckles turn white around my mug as I force myself to remain composed. Noah's smile falters. He wasn't expecting me to fight back. I glance at Meredith, who gives me a single reassuring nod. "Fine. Let's do this. It's time to show them exactly who they're dealing with." I mutter, pushing my hair back from my forehead in frustration. As if today wasn't complicated enough already. Actually, this competitive element strengthens our position. We can argue that any confusion about ownership and management creates an immediate market disadvantage during a critical competition period. My phone rings, cutting through my thoughts. It's from the bakery. "Garrett, I need to take this." "It's Juno." "Go ahead, I'll start drafting the cease and desist." I answer quickly, my stomach tightening at Juno's panicked tone. "Eliza, you need to get back here immediately. Your brother is talking to Marco from Fieldstone Organic Flour, trying to switch our standing order to a discount supplier. Put him on the phone. Now." My voice drops to a dangerously quiet level. There's rustling, muffled protests, then Noah's smugly confident voice. "Hey sis. Just making some executive efficiency adjustments. Did you know we could save nearly 40% by switching to wholesale baking supplies? Same basic ingredients. Get my bakery." Each word is sharp as ice. "Our family business." "You mean Dad's already calculating the tax benefits of get out." I'm shouting now, not caring that Garrett can hear every word through the still active video call. "If you're still there when I arrive, I'm calling the police and having you removed for trespassing." The line goes dead. Garrett's concerned face fills my laptop screen. "I'm sending a courier with preliminary paperwork right now." "Where are you parked?" 2 blocks from the bakery." My hands are shaking so badly I can barely close my laptop. "I'll meet you there myself." This has escalated beyond phone calls. His voice remains calm but firm. "Don't engage further without legal representation present." We arrive at Sweet Victory 20 minutes later. Noah is gone, but the damage is clear. Juno meets us at the entrance, her usually calm demeanor shattered. "He changed our standing orders with 3 suppliers," she says, tugging nervously at her flour-dusted apron. "Told them he was the new brand director and operations manager. They believed him because of those Instagram posts and stories. Marco from Fieldstone called me after Noah left, completely confused about our relationship. I spend the next hour frantically calling suppliers, trying to salvage our relationships. Garrett sits at a small table near the kitchen, occasionally conferring with his associate via video call while drafting documents. Through the front windows, I spot Vanessa Mitchell strolling past our storefront, phone in hand, clearly documenting our window displays and signage. She notices me watching and offers a saccharine wave. "I've prepared an emergency restraining order and injunction," Garrett says once I finish damage control with our chocolate supplier. "We can file first thing tomorrow morning." He hesitates, clearing his throat. "Eliza, there's something else." Your parents contacted my office while we were en route here. Robert is threatening a lawsuit, claiming family investment entitlement in your business. I let out a laugh that sounds more like a strangled sob. Family investment entitlement? Is that even a legitimate legal concept? It's not formally recognized, but they could cause substantial complications and negative publicity. We should prepare for that possibility. Are you ready for what this could escalate into? My phone vibrates. A text from Meredith. Just drove past your parents' house. Noah's loading what looks like presentation materials and boxes into his car. Something's definitely happening tonight. Another notification. This time from my mother. We're expecting you at Busine at 7 p.m. for our anniversary celebration. Noah has prepared a comprehensive presentation about his vision for Sweet Victory's expansion. Don't embarrass us by being late. The final blow comes via email. A forwarded message from our coffee supplier. Correspondence from Noah, where he introduces himself as taking over branding and operations, while I supposedly transition into a more creative, less management-focused role at Sweet Victory. Garrett, I say quietly, my voice steadier than I feel. Prepare whatever legal documentation we need. I want everything locked down immediately. And send that cease and desist letter tonight. Don't wait until morning. He looks up from his laptop, his expression concerned. This will likely create a permanent fracture in your family relationships. Are you certain that's what you want? They created that fracture the moment they decided my business was their safety net. I straighten, adjusting my chef's coat. I'm done being the accommodating daughter who sacrifices her boundaries to maintain a false peace. Juno approaches, espresso in hand, worry in her eyes. Eliza, that new bakery owner is outside again. She's filming our store hours sign and making notes. Of course she is. I check my watch. 5:45 p.m. The anniversary dinner at Bellini's is in just over an hour. My phone keeps buzzing. Instagram tags, WhatsApp messages from extended family, all commenting on the exciting family-business collaboration Noah has orchestrated through his calculated social media campaign. Garrett, how fast can you get me the documentation I need tonight? He types rapidly, not looking up. I can have preliminary papers ready in 45 minutes. My assistant is already sending the cease and desist electronically. Perfect. Because I'm attending that anniversary dinner. I smile, not with warmth but with determination. And I'm bringing evidence. Through the window, Vanessa Mitchell walks away with a satisfied smirk, clearly convinced she's witnessing the beginning of our downfall. But she's wrong. They're all wrong. Sometimes, the sweetest vindication comes from simply defending what's rightfully yours. The rich aroma of truffled pasta and expensive wine surrounds me as I step into Bellini, the city's most exclusive Italian restaurant. Any other night I'd appreciate the culinary artistry. Tonight my stomach knots in anticipation. Garrett's documents feel like armor in my designer handbag. The one indulgence I allowed myself after landing the catering contract with Anderson Enterprises. Eliza, finally. Diane rises from the elegantly set table, her practiced smile never reaching her eyes. Her anniversary outfit is impeccable, clearly new, clearly expensive, designed to impress the country club members scattered throughout the restaurant. Noah has everything prepared for his presentation. He's been working on it all afternoon. Robert barely glances up from his tablet, skimming stock portfolios. Your mother spent all day making arrangements for this celebration. Let's keep things civilized, shall we? The subtle emphasis on civilized makes his expectation clear. Don't make a scene in public. I follow them into the private dining area, where Noah stands beside a sleek laptop connected to a projector. He's wearing a tailored suit, one he clearly can't afford, the security tag still partially hidden under the cuff. Perfect timing, sis. He grins, clicking to his first slide. Sweet Victory Evolution. A family legacy brand. The logo I spent months designing has been altered, Its clean simplicity buried under unnecessary flourishes. Before you begin, I say, pulling Garrett's folder from my bag, I have something to share as well. Diane interrupts hastily. Let's order first. The chef has prepared a special anniversary menu. We sit in tense silence as the server describes elaborate dishes none of us are interested in. Noah keeps glancing at his presentation. Robert checks his watch. Diane fidgets with her silverware. Finally, after the wine is poured, Noah seizes the lull. I've been consulting with several high-end suppliers about cost optimization strategies, he begins, swiping to a chart showing projected savings. You mean the suppliers you contacted without authorization? I set down my untouched wine glass with deliberate care. The ones you misled about your position in my company? Eliza. Diane gasps, her eyes darting to nearby tables. Noah is trying to help the family business. Help. I pull out my phone, opening screenshots of Noah's Instagram posts and stories. By announcing himself as creative director of my bakery without my knowledge or consent. By attempting to change supplier relationships he has no legal right to modify. Robert leans forward, his voice dropping to a dangerous whisper. Now listen carefully, young lady. Family businesses have always been about mutual support and... I cut him off, my voice quiet but firm. What Noah did today constitutes fraud. The word lands like shattering glass in the elegant dining room. Diane's water glass tips over, soaking the expensive linen tablecloth. A nearby diner glances our way. Fraud. Noah laughs nervously, his confident facade cracking. Come on, Eliza, I was just showing initiative. Being entrepreneurial, like Dad always taught us. I slide Garrett's papers across the table. This is a formal cease and desist letter. Remove all social media posts. Cease contact with my suppliers. Stop representing yourself as affiliated with Sweet Victory in any capacity. Or what? Robert's face darkens as he half rises from his chair. You'll sue your own brother? Your own family? If that's what protecting my business requires, yes. My voice doesn't waver. Diane's tears start flowing right on cue. The diamond anniversary necklace around her throat catches the light as she dabs at her eyes with a monogrammed handkerchief. I can't believe you're doing this to us, she sobs quietly. After everything we've sacrificed for you children. What exactly did you sacrifice? The words escape before I can contain them. When I needed a modest loan to secure my first commercial oven, you refused. When I worked hospital night shifts while developing recipes during the day, you told your friends I was wasting my education. The first time you brought friends to the bakery was after Food and Wine featured us last spring. That's simply not true. Diane's voice rises slightly before she catches herself, aware of the public setting. We've always been behind you. Really? I pull up a documented text conversation on my phone and place it on the table. Here's a message from Dad dated 2 years ago. No daughter with a university degree should be throwing her life away on a hobby business. Find a proper position with healthcare benefits. Ancient history. Noah waves a dismissive hand. Doesn't matter. Look at my presentation. I've got connections with 3 influencer networks. Concepts for franchise opportunities. Based on what experience? What qualifications? What financial investment? I remain seated, but my posture is steel. You've cycled through 5 passion careers in 3 years. Your portfolio website hasn't been updated in 14 months. You want to capitalize on my success without understanding the first thing about what built it. We're family. Robert hisses, mindful of the restaurant setting but unable to contain his anger. Family shares success. Family supports each other. Family doesn't hijack what someone else created through years of sacrifice, I respond, matching his intensity while maintaining my composure. There will be consequences, Robert warns, his voice dropping to something cold and calculated. If you persist with this. If you choose your bakery over your family obligations. You're the ones forcing that choice. I gather my bag. The cease and desist gives you 24 hours to remove all posts and retract all claims about involvement with Sweet Victory. If you don't comply, my lawyer will proceed with the injunction and potential damage claims. Eliza, please. Diane reaches for my wrist. We can work through this. We're simply trying to secure Noah's future. What about my future? I pull away gently but firmly. What about everything I've worked for while you dismissed it as a hobby? Robert's voice is dangerously quiet. If you walk out of this anniversary dinner, don't consider yourself welcome at any family function again. I survey the table. Diane dabbing at theatrical tears, Robert's face flushed with anger, Noah staring dejectedly at his now useless presentation. For a fleeting moment I see flashes of holidays past, family game nights, Sunday brunches, before success and money poisoned everything. But that family exists only in memory now. My lawyer will send the complete documentation tomorrow. I rise from my chair with dignity despite my churning emotions. At the door to the private dining room I pause and turn back. You know what the saddest part is? If you had simply asked to collaborate with me, rather than trying to commandeer my business, I probably would have welcomed your involvement. The door closes behind me with a soft click that somehow sounds more final than a slam would have. The next morning Meredith bursts into my office, her face ashen as she holds up her phone. Eliza, you need to see this immediately. The screen displays a 1-star Yelp review of Sweet Victory posted just 3 hours ago. Severe food poisoning from their signature lavender honey cake. I read aloud, my stomach dropping. Unprofessional service. Owner clearly distracted by personal drama at the expense of food safety. My hands begin trembling. He wouldn't go this far. But when I frantically check our online presence, I discover dozens of similar reviews across multiple platforms, all posted within the last 4 hours. Each mentions either food safety concerns, unprofessional behavior, or family management issues. Juno rushes in, her baking apron dusted with cocoa. Eliza, 6 of our regular corporate breakfast clients just canceled their standing orders. They're saying something about health code violations being reported. My phone rings with Garrett's name on the display. Eliza, your brother ignored the cease and desist. Not only are his original posts still active, but he's added new content claiming you're experiencing a psychological breakdown that's affecting business operations. I sink into my chair, watching helplessly through the window as potential customers check their phones, read something alarming, and continue walking past our entrance. Several peer inside with expressions mixing curiosity and concern. There's more, Meredith says, scrolling frantically through various social media platforms. He's contacting food influencers, local business reporters, and neighborhood groups. He's launched a hashtag campaign, #SaveSweetVictoryBakery. The bell above our door chimes. Vanessa Mitchell glides in, wearing an impeccably pressed chef's coat with her name embroidered in gold thread. I heard about your unfortunate situation, she says, her voice dripping with manufactured sympathy. I wanted to extend an offer to purchase your business before things deteriorate further. A clean exit might be your best option now. I rise slowly from my desk, finding unexpected strength in my fury. Get out of my bakery. Just trying to offer a professional courtesy. My offer has an expiration date, especially with these concerning health rumors circulating. She adjusts her designer eyeglasses with manicured fingers. Meredith steps between us. She said, get out. Now. After Vanessa leaves, I check our business email. Order cancellations continue arriving in real time. The phone rings again. It's the city health department, requesting an immediate unscheduled inspection based on multiple public complaints. He's actively trying to destroy everything. I've built this from the ground up. The reality of the situation crashes over me. My own brother is behind this. Meredith grips my shoulders firmly, turning me to face her. He's trying to break your spirit so you'll surrender. Don't give him that power. My phone buzzes with a new WhatsApp message from my mother. See what happens when you choose business over family loyalty? It's not too late to apologize and accept Noah's partnership offer before more damage is done. The health inspector arrives within 40 minutes, meticulously examining every inch of our kitchen. Outside, passers-by snap photos of his official car. Within minutes, my phone is flooded with notifications. Social media is already ablaze with reports of supposed health code violations. You exceed all cleanliness standards, the inspector finally announces, closing his tablet. However, due to the volume of complaints, department protocol requires a follow-up inspection next week. As he exits, I spot Noah across the street, half hidden behind a decorative planter, his phone raised, capturing yet another moment to fuel his disinformation campaign. That's enough. I grab my keys from behind the counter, adrenaline surging. Meredith watched the bakery. Crossing the street with determined strides, my chef's coat billows behind me. Noah tries to retreat, but I corner him against the wall of a boutique. Taking notes on food safety protocols? I ask. He smirks, but there's a flicker of unease in his eyes. Just doing research for my new professional direction. You're systematically destroying everything I've worked for. No, you did that yourself when you chose your precious bakery over family loyalty. He holds up his phone, the screen displaying his coordinated review campaign. Face reality, Eliza. You need my expertise now more than ever. These reviews are just the beginning of your PR nightmare. Oh, is that what you think? I pull out my phone and navigate to a saved audio file. Remember New Year's Eve? You had too much champagne and bragged about running paid reputation destruction campaigns. You explained your entire methodology. The color drains from his face. I recorded it. You wouldn't dare. Try me. Keep posting fake reviews and I'll make sure every social media platform knows you run a professional defamation service. How many of your influencer friends would stand by you after that? His jaw tightens, but he says nothing. Back inside Sweet Victory, my phone rings. Garrett. Eliza, we have substantial grounds for damages. These false reviews, fraudulent complaints. It's textbook defamation with provable malicious intent. File everything, I say, watching another group of potential customers check their phones and walk past. And Garrett? Make it public. I'm done being silently manipulated by shame and family obligation. Meredith hands me a fresh espresso. How are you holding up? Honestly, terribly. I scan the empty tables that should be filled with customers. But we'll recover. Call Juno and the team. We're baking everything. Fresh breads, pastries, cakes. Our signatures. Let's remind the neighborhood what Sweet Victory really stands for. What about the reviews? I open my laptop, resolute. We respond professionally, attach today's inspection report, and include proof these customers never bought what they're claiming. Transparency is our best defense. A notification pops up, an unknown number. It's a staged photo of my parents consoling a distraught-looking Noah. The caption, "Hope you're satisfied with the family you've destroyed." I show Meredith, who rolls her eyes. And the Academy Award for Most Manipulative Family Photography goes to. They think they're punishing me with emotional blackmail. I turn toward the kitchen where my team arrives in response to the emergency call. They're just reinforcing why I need to protect myself and everything I've built. The industrial mixer roars to life. Soon, the intoxicating aroma of sourdough and buttery pastries fills the space. Through the front window, I spot Vanessa Mitchell strolling past again, studying our nearly empty cafe with calculating interest. Let them come with their worst. Let them try every underhanded tactic. Some creations are worth defending, even if you stand alone. 3 days later, a certified letter arrives. The sleek envelope bears the logo of Preston and Winters, the law firm where my father's golf partner is a named partner. They're actually suing me, I tell Garrett over speakerphone, my voice unsteady as I skim the complaint. They claim they provided substantial financial, operational, and developmental support during Sweet Victory's founding. They want 30% ownership, retroactive to the beginning. That's ridiculous, Garrett says, the sound of his typing filtering through the call. Do they even have evidence? According to this, my mother's old kitchen mixer was an essential startup investment. And the fact that I lived at home while saving for my bakery qualifies as residential capital investment in business development. Meredith, stress-eating her second pain o' chocolate, nearly chokes. They charged you $800 a month for that tiny bedroom. I remember you working hospital overtime just to afford rent while saving for bakery equipment. My phone vibrates. A text from Noah. Final chance, sis. Drop the cease and desist and accept the partnership, or prepare for real consequences. As if on cue, the bell above the door chimes. Vanessa Mitchell sweeps in, trailing a woman with a microphone and a cameraman with Channel 5 business report emblazoned on his gear. I felt compelled to speak out about these troubling developments, Vanessa announces loudly, positioning herself for the camera. As a member of the culinary community, I'm concerned about how family disputes might compromise food safety standards. The public deserves transparency. You need to leave. Now. Meredith steps forward aggressively. Garrett's voice cuts through the speakerphone. Do not engage. Say nothing. I'm sending our media specialist. After they exit satisfied with their ambush footage, I check Twitter. My parents have released a lengthy statement about their daughter's heartbreaking betrayal and their decades of sacrifice and support. It's already been shared and commented on hundreds of times. Eliza, look at this. Meredith turns her tablet toward me. Noah has created a Facebook event. Family business rights demonstration. Outside Sweet Victory. He's invited our extended family, painting himself as the victim of corporate greed. The bell chimes again. It's Juno, her usual cheer replaced with concern. The Anderson wedding order just canceled. $33,000. Gone. They cited concerns over reliability due to publicized management issues. I exhale sharply, then grab my keys. Meredith, watch the bakery. I need to see someone who might help. 25 minutes later, I'm sitting in my grandmother's old kitchen, now belonging to her lifelong friend Aunt Judith. My godmother pours herbal tea, her hands trembling slightly. I've seen the social media storm, she says, adjusting her reading glasses. Diane is really outdoing herself this time. I slide the lawsuit documents across the worn kitchen table. They're claiming Grandma promised them partial ownership of any business venture I might start. Aunt Judith's gentle expression hardens. That's an outright lie. Your grandmother left you her recipe journal because she believed in your talent and passion. She watched how your parents always favored Noah, how they dismissed your ambitions. She rises with surprising agility for her 70 years and disappears into her home office. When she returns, she carries a weathered wooden box. I've been safeguarding these, waiting for the right moment. Inside are letters, dozens of them. My grandmother wrote them over the years. The last one, dated just 2 weeks before her passing, is addressed to my parents. Should you ever attempt to capitalize on Eliza's success? I read aloud, my voice catching. The letter contains explicit instructions for Aunt Judith to reveal everything, including the $47,000 they borrowed against her retirement for Noah's failed photography equipment and European expedition. The same funds they later claimed were lost in bad investments. My phone rings. Garrett again. Eliza, we need to act now. They've filed for an emergency injunction, claiming you're intentionally damaging family business assets. No more defensive positioning. I stand clutching the letters like artifacts. Aunt Judith, would you be willing to testify about these letters and Grandma's real intentions? My dear, she says, taking my hand firmly. I've been waiting for years for this opportunity. When we return to Sweet Victory, a small but vocal crowd has already gathered outside. Noah stands at the forefront, holding a professionally printed sign that reads, "Family First, Support Ethical Business Practices." I push past them, ignoring their comments until I reach the entrance where Meredith stands protectively. "Your cousin Alyssa called," she says as we step inside. "Noah has been approaching relatives for investments, promising them percentages of Sweet Victory once he wins the ownership dispute." "Perfect," I murmur, pulling out my phone. I call Garrett. "Remember when you advised me to wait before filing the countersuit? I'm ready now. I have documented proof of intentional business sabotage, witness testimony about falsified claims, and evidence of attempted fraud against multiple family members." "Eliza," Garrett's voice is grave, "this will effectively sever all remaining family ties. Are you ready for that?" Through the window, I watch as my parents join the protest, embracing Noah for a photo op while reporters capture the moment. At the edge of the crowd, Vanessa Mitchell speaks animatedly to a journalist, positioning herself to benefit from our downfall. "They severed those ties themselves," I tell Garrett, my resolve solidifying. "I'm just making sure they can't rebuild them on their own manipulative terms." Juno approaches, pressing a fresh Americano into my hand, fierce determination in her eyes. "The entire team is here, Eliza. Every single person showed up when I called. We're with you." My phone lights up with another message from my mother. "The entire extended family will attend tomorrow's demonstration. Your last chance to make this right." I glance around at my real family, my dedicated staff who arrived without hesitation, my best friend who sacrificed her own workday, my godmother clutching a box filled with decades of truth. Then I look outside at the growing crowd, relatives who never acknowledged my success until it became profitable. "Garrett," I say with newfound clarity, "file everything we have and contact the business press. It's time people understood what real family support looks like." The industrial mixer roars to life behind me as my team prepares for tomorrow's showdown. Let them protest with their signs. Let them threaten with their lawyers. They're about to learn that the daughter they underestimated has become the businesswoman they should have respected. The morning of the demonstration dawns beneath a perfect blue sky. I arrive at Sweet Victory at 4:45 a.m. to find local news vans already setting up across the street. Through the window, I watch Noah positioning protesters for maximum visual impact, playing the media-savvy designer he is. "Everything's ready," Meredith says, helping me adjust the small podium we've set up just outside our entrance. Inside, the bakery showcase gleams with fresh pastries, bread, and cakes, products my team has been crafting since midnight. It's now or never. I check my phone one last time. Garrett's message confirms he's 3 minutes away with the full legal documentation. By 9:15 a.m. the crowd has swelled. Diane and Robert stand in the center. My mother dabs at her eyes with a monogrammed handkerchief, while my father stands beside her, his expression stern. At the periphery, Vanessa Mitchell chats eagerly with a business reporter, barely concealing her excitement over my supposed downfall. "Eliza," Noah calls as I step outside, his voice taunting. "Here to surrender your stubbornness?" I adjust the microphone with steady hands. "Actually," I say, "I'm here to share the full truth." Cameras flash. Reporters lean forward. I spot Aunt Judith arriving, the wooden box of letters clutched tightly in her arms. She nods encouragingly. "My name is Eliza. This is Sweet Victory Bakery. Every recipe, every dollar invested, every success and every challenge, they belong to me alone. And today I will show you what true family support looks like." I signal to Garrett, who begins distributing comprehensive media packets to the press. These documents contain undeniable proof of harassment, deliberate defamation, and attempted fraud. You'll see that the negative reviews were posted from my brother's registered devices. You'll read text messages threatening to destroy my business unless I surrendered ownership. "She's making this up," Noah shouts, but I see him frantically checking his phone notifications. "And," I continue, you'll find personal letters from my grandmother exposing financial misconduct by my parents. Letters they never intended to be seen. Diane's tears vanish instantly. Robert's face turns pale. Eliza, you have no right, he begins, stepping forward aggressively. What's wrong, Dad? I ask calmly. Afraid people will find out how you and Mom siphoned money from Grandma, funds meant for my education, to finance Noah's many failed creative ventures? A murmur spreads through the crowd. Relatives glance at each other, confusion flickering across their faces as their signs lower slightly. But perhaps the most revealing moment is still to come. I need to see someone who might help. 25 minutes later, I'm seated in my grandmother's old kitchen, now belonging to her lifelong friend Aunt Judith. My godmother pours herbal tea with slightly trembling hands. I've seen the social media storm, she says, adjusting her reading glasses. Diane is really outdoing herself this time. I slide the lawsuit documents across the well-worn kitchen table. They're claiming Grandma promised them partial ownership of any business venture I might start. Aunt Judith's gentle expression hardens. That's an outright fabrication. Your grandmother left you her recipe journal because she recognized your talent and passion. She saw how your parents consistently favored Noah, dismissing your ambitions. She rises with surprising agility for her 70 years, disappearing into her home office. When she returns, she carries a weathered wooden box. I've been safeguarding these, waiting for the right moment. Inside are letters, dozens of them written by my grandmother over the years. The final one, dated just 2 weeks before she passed, is addressed to my parents. I read aloud, my voice catching. Should you ever attempt to capitalize on Eliza's success, Judith has explicit instructions to reveal everything, including the $47,000 you borrowed against my retirement for Noah's failed photography equipment and European expedition, funds you claimed were lost in poor investments. My phone rings. Garrett again. Eliza, we need immediate action. They've filed for an emergency injunction, claiming you're willfully damaging family business assets. No more defensive positioning. I stand, clutching the letters like precious artifacts. Aunt Judith, would you be willing to testify about these letters and Grandma's true intentions? My dear, she takes my hand firmly, I've been waiting years for this opportunity. When we return to Sweet Victory, a small but vocal group has already gathered outside. Noah stands front and center, holding a professionally printed sign. Family first, support ethical business practices. I push through them, ignoring their comments, reaching the door where Meredith stands protectively. Your cousin Alyssa called, she says as we hurry inside. Noah has been approaching relatives for investment opportunities, promising them percentages of Sweet Victory once he resolves the ownership dispute. Perfect. That's exactly what we needed. I pull out my phone and call Garrett. Remember when you advised waiting to file the countersuit? I'm ready now. I have documented evidence of intentional business sabotage, witness testimony about falsified claims, and proof of attempted fraud against multiple family members. Eliza, his voice is serious, this will effectively sever all remaining family ties. Are you prepared for that reality? Through the window, I watch my parents join the demonstration, embracing Noah for a photo while reporters capture the moment. Vanessa Mitchell hovers at the edges, animatedly speaking to a journalist, clearly positioning herself to benefit from our potential downfall. They severed those ties themselves, I tell Garrett, my resolve hardening. I'm simply ensuring they can't rebuild them on their own manipulative terms. Juno approaches with a fresh Americano and fierce determination in her eyes. The entire team is here, Eliza. Every single person showed up when I called. We're all with you. My phone illuminates with another WhatsApp message from my mother. The entire extended family will attend tomorrow's demonstration. Your final opportunity to make this right. I look around at what has become my true family, my dedicated staff who arrived without hesitation despite the early hour, my loyal best friend who sacrificed her own workday, my godmother clutching a box containing decades of truth. Then I glanced through the window at the growing crowd, their hastily made signs, the relatives who never acknowledged my accomplishments until they became profitable. Garrett, I say with newfound clarity, file everything we have and contact the business press. It's time everyone understood what genuine family support actually looks like. The industrial mixer roars to life behind me as my team begins preparing for tomorrow's confrontation. Let them protest with their signs. Let them threaten with their lawyers. They're about to learn that the dutiful daughter they always underestimated has become a formidable businesswoman they should have respected. The morning of the demonstration dawns under perfect blue skies. I arrive at Sweet Victory at 4:45 a.m. to find local news vans already setting up across the street. Through the window, I watch Noah orchestrate people with protest signs, positioning them for maximum visual impact, like the media-savvy designer he is. Everything's ready, Meredith says, helping me adjust the small podium we've set up outside the entrance. Inside, the bakery showcase gleams with fresh pastries, breads, and cakes my team has been producing since midnight. It's now or never. I check my phone one last time. Garrett's message confirms he's 3 minutes away with the full legal documentation. By 9:15 a.m., the demonstration has grown considerably. Diane and Robert stand prominently in the center, my mother dabbing at her eyes with a monogrammed handkerchief while my father maintains a stern expression. Vanessa Mitchell lingers at the periphery, barely concealing her anticipation of our downfall. Eliza. Noah calls as I step outside to the podium. Come to surrender your stubbornness? I adjust the microphone with steady hands. Actually, I say, I've come to share the complete truth. Cameras flash. Reporters lean forward eagerly. Aunt Judith arrives, clutching her wooden box of letters, nodding encouragingly. My name is Eliza. This is Sweet Victory Bakery. Every recipe, every dollar invested, every success and every challenge, they belong to me alone. And today I'm going to demonstrate what genuine family support truly means. I signal to Garrett, who begins distributing media packets. These documents contain irrefutable evidence of coordinated harassment, deliberate defamation, and attempted fraud. You'll find proof that the negative reviews were posted from my brother's registered devices. You'll see text messages threatening to destroy my business unless I surrendered ownership. She's fabricating everything. Noah shouts, but I notice him frantically checking his phone notifications. You'll also discover personal letters from my grandmother documenting financial misconduct by my parents, correspondence they never intended to become public. Diane abruptly stops her theatrical crying. Robert's face drains of color. Eliza, you have no right, he begins, stepping forward threateningly. What's troubling you, Dad? Concerned about people discovering how you and Mom diverted funds from Grandma, money meant for my education, to finance Noah's numerous failed ventures. Murmurs ripple through the crowd. Several relatives exchange confused glances, lowering their signs slightly. But perhaps the most revealing evidence. I gesture towards Sweet Victory's gleaming windows, where my team continues working tirelessly, the aroma of fresh baking filling the air. While my biological family organized this protest, my chosen family, the people who truly support me, were demonstrating their dedication through their craft. I push open the bakery doors. Anyone seeking the truth about our food quality is welcome to judge for themselves. Reporters surge forward, drawn by the irresistible scent of warm pastries. Even some relatives break away from the protest, choosing fresh bread over empty rhetoric. Robert sneers. You'll regret this humiliation. He grabs Diane's arm. Let's go, Noah. This circus is over. But Noah remains rooted in place, staring at his phone in disbelief. The accounts, they're all suspended. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Everything. They've removed all my content for violating terms against harassment and fraud. Actions have consequences, I tell him calmly. Perhaps the first genuine business lesson you've ever received. I want you to understand that lasting success is built from the ground up. There are no shortcuts to creating something authentic. The bell above the entrance chimes as Aunt Judith enters, accompanied by Uncle Martin, who carries a weathered wooden box. I recognize it immediately. Found these while helping your parents reorganize, he says awkwardly, clearly uncomfortable. Your grandmother's complete collection of original recipe cards. Thought they rightfully belonged with you. Martin, Aunt Judith gives him a gentle elbow nudge. We agreed to approach this delicately. Sometimes directness is better than dancing around things, he replies, placing the box carefully on my desk. Listen, Eliza, what Robert and Diane did was wrong. And what many of us did, taking sides without understanding the facts, was equally wrong. The extended family is divided now, Aunt Judith adds softly, but more relatives are beginning to recognize the truth of the situation. My phone vibrates with a notification from Robert. Your mother would appreciate a call when you have time. Nothing more, but it's a significant shift in tone. A second message follows, this time from my mother. Noah has moved into his own apartment. He's enrolled in business administration courses at the community college. A brief pause before another message. He says watching you stand your ground inspired him to establish himself properly. Eliza, Juno calls from the kitchen. The food editor from Metropolitan Magazine has arrived for the feature interview. Should we showcase the new strawberry basil tart or stick with our signature classics? I glance down at the box of handwritten recipe cards, then back at Vanessa, who is still waiting for confirmation about the delivery position. Both, I decide with newfound clarity. Let's demonstrate who we've been, and who we are becoming. Meredith smiles approvingly. There's the Eliza I always knew was in there. The day continues with its familiar rhythms. Dough rises in the proofing cabinets, customers leave with satisfied smiles, and deliveries depart with Vanessa learning the routes and building relationships with our commercial clients. Yet something fundamental has shifted. A new steadiness permeates everything. As closing time approaches, I find a package on my desk that wasn't there earlier. Inside is a familiar kitchen mixer, the one my mother once claimed as her investment in Sweet Victory. The attached note simply reads, "This always belonged with you, Diane." I plug it in, listening to its familiar mechanical hum fill the kitchen. My team gathers around curiously as I retrieve one of my grandmother's original recipe cards from the wooden box. Adding something new to tomorrow's menu? Meredith asks. No, I say, smiling as I measure ingredients with practiced precision. Just honoring where I began while celebrating where I am now. Vanessa returns from her final delivery, flour dusting her designer jeans, a new perspective evident in her expression. I understand now, she says quietly, why you defended this place so fiercely. Through the front window I glimpse Noah walking past on the opposite sidewalk. He doesn't enter but offers a small wave, a gesture of acknowledgement rather than expectation. After a moment's hesitation I return the gesture. The mixer continues its steady rhythm, the ovens radiate comforting warmth, and my chosen family moves through the kitchen in a synchronized dance of collaboration. This is precisely what I fought to protect. Not just a business but the right to define my own version of family and success. Who wants to learn my grandmother's special brioche technique? I call out. Everyone gathers around. Meredith, Juno, our kitchen staff, even Vanessa. Their faces attentive and eager. As I begin demonstrating the delicate process that started my culinary journey, I realize something profound. Some relationships must fracture for stronger ones to form. Like the finest sourdough, the most meaningful victories require time, patience, and precisely the right elements. And family, the most authentic version, is often the one you create through conscious choice, ingredient by careful ingredient.